So you've been working hard and you're ready to save money for retirement and you want to use a Roth IRA, but you found out that you make too much money to contribute. What do you do next? When Roth IRAs were created, they were designed primarily to help lower income folks. So there are restrictions in place that prevent people of a certain income level to contribute directly to a Roth IRA. But what if I told you in 2010 Congress left a loophole in tax legislation that allows people to contribute another way? It's called a Backdoor Roth IRA, and today we'll describe how it works. All right, in 2023, if you make over $218,000 as a married person filing jointly or $138,000 as an individual, the IRS begins phasing out how much you can contribute to a Roth IRA. Eventually, you won't be able to contribute anything at all. But by using the Backdoor Roth IRA method, you can put money into a Roth IRA account. And basically the way it works is you deposit money on an after-tax basis into an IRA, then convert those funds to a Roth. It sounds really simple because it is. It's completely legal and people have been doing it for well over a decade now. As an illustration, we invented a guy named Backdoor Ben to walk us through how this works. Ben has an income in 2023 of $165,000 and is therefore ineligible to contribute anything directly to a Roth IRA. Ben is young and he wants to put as much as he can into Roth accounts so the account balances have time to grow. So Ben goes to the IRA custodian website and deposits $6,500 into an IRA on an after-tax basis. Contributing to an IRA on an after-tax basis is perfectly legal for anyone with income, no matter how much they make. Now, when Ben deposits the money into the account, he just leaves it in his clearing account in cash. It doesn't grow at all. And a little while later, he comes back and he converts the $6,500 he deposited over to a Roth IRA. Now, since Ben made the deposit on an after-tax basis, he doesn't owe any income tax on the contribution. But if the balance he put into the account on an after-tax basis grows at all, he will have to pay tax on any gains between the amount he contributed and the total balance when he makes the conversion. It's really that simple, and I don't know why the IRS hasn't closed the loophole unless they want to just leave it open. Okay, like anything, there could be a catch. There's an IRS rule called the Pro Rata rule, and basically what it means is that you have to consider the entirety of all your IRA assets anytime you make a conversion. So, if you have a traditional IRA account open that has tax-deferred money in it, it will be counted with all of your other IRA assets when you make a conversion. As a result, any balance you convert will be taxed on a pro rata basis based on the entirety of all your IRA accounts when you make the conversion. So let's start with Ben again. Let's assume that he has a $20,000 traditional IRA account and he wants to convert $5,000 from an after-tax IRA to a Roth IRA. In the eyes of the IRS, Ben has a $25,000 IRA balance. 80% of it is tax deferred, 20% of it is after tax. If Ben converts that $5,000 to the Roth account, $4,000 of that will be subject to income tax and $1,000 of it will still be considered tax-free or after tax. And the pro rata rule applies to all traditional accounts. It doesn't matter if they're at different custodians. It doesn't matter if one is older than the other. The IRA sees them as one. Now, if you don't have a very large traditional IRA balance, you might just decide to trudge forward anyway. You may not care. You can just pay the tax, get it into Roth, and be done with it. But if you have a large balance, say 5-6 figures, the tax hit could be pretty significant and may deter you from trying the Backdoor Roth IRA. There are a couple of ways you might get around this. One way is to take your traditional IRA balance and roll it into your employer-sponsored 401k plan. You may or may not be able to do that depending on the rules of your employer-sponsored plan, but you could look into that. That way you could move the money out of the traditional account, meaning that you don't have it in the IRA anymore, and all the IRA funds would be after tax, meaning the Roth conversion would be tax-free. Hey, I hope you found this video entertaining and informative. If it's helpful to you, if you would please click the like and subscribe button below, I'd really appreciate it. It greatly helps our channel to grow, helps us to get the word out about what we're doing and to teach other people about personal finance. Now, there's also something called a Mega-Backdoor Roth IRA. It's a little more complicated, but let's walk through it. Now, in 2023, we've already said that a maximum Roth IRA contribution is $6,500 if you're under 50 years old. If you're 50 and older, it's $7,500. And that's the maximum amount you contribute to IRAs cumulatively in 2023. That's traditional, after tax, and Roth all combined can only be $6,500 or $7,500 if you're older. So in Ben's case, he could only contribute $6,500 on an after-tax basis and then convert that amount, not a penny more. Now, while IRAs have limits of $6,500 and $7,500 respectively, 401ks have much larger contribution limits. The maximum tax-advantaged amount you can put into a 401k in 2023 is $22,500 if you're under 50, is $30,000 if you're 50 and over. However, beyond that amount, employees can contribute up to $66,000 to a 401k on an after-tax basis. If you're 50 and older, the maximum amount is $73,500. If your employer-sponsored 401k plan allows for in-service rollovers from the 401k to an IRA, you can contribute up to that $66,000 or $73,000 number on an after-tax basis, then potentially convert that money to a Roth 401k, then roll that money into a Roth IRA from the 401k. Basically meaning you can contribute $66,000 or potentially up to $73,500 into a Roth IRA in a single year. Now, you don't have to roll the money from the 401k over to the IRA to have the Roth option. If your employer-sponsored plan already has a Roth option and you convert the after-tax sum into a Roth 401k, then you already have it on a Roth basis. Many people like to get the money out of their 401k account because they have a broader selection of investments from within an IRA from a custodian of their choice, but really it's up to you. Now granted, you have to have a really strong income to pull off a deposit of this amount in a single tax year. But even if you can only do a portion of that, it provides a huge opportunity to put money into a Roth account. All right, let's go back to Backdoor Ben to kind of see how this would work. Let's pretend Ben is 55 now, and he has $73,500 that he can readily put into a 401k plan this year. So Ben adjusts his monthly withholding to hit that goal by the end of the tax year. Ben also has pretty low living expenses, so he's able to stay in a pretty low tax bracket. So the after-tax amounts he's put into his 401k, Ben later converts to a Roth. And later, if Ben so desires and his 401k plan allows, he can roll over that balance into an IRA. Okay, a few things to keep in mind. Depending on how your employer makes matching contributions, you need to be careful about how you make your contributions to a 401k. If you front load a lot of those in the beginning of the tax year, you may exhaust those employer contributions because they'll only contribute up to that $22,500 mark. You don't want to use up all the space they have and block them from making contributions. Some employers have accounted for that. They'll front load your contribution early in the year if they have such an option, but you need to look into it and make sure before you execute this plan. Now, we only talked about Roths, but if your employer's 401k plan allows, you can also roll traditional funds over to a traditional IRA if you wanted to. Just keep in mind that any amounts you convert from traditional to Roth will be subject to income tax. Finally, every 401k plan is different. You may or may not have the ability to do this. Be sure to look into your plan's policies and procedures before you begin working on this. We have lots of other information on our website about Roth IRAs, 401ks, really any kind of investment at martinmoney.com. We're also available through the social channels that are on your screen. Thanks again for watching our videos. We're really grateful for your interest. God bless and take care.